All right, for this section, you're going to do, it's titled Employee Benefits. And what this is that your business may offer your employees benefits. Okay? Things like health insurance, vision insurance, dental, group life insurance, retirement, Social Security is a benefit, Medicare, maybe vacation days, those are all benefits. Okay? And that's not the only list. There's a list on the top of page 430 of the benefits that they list on here. And what you're going to do today is you're going to figure out what the rate of your benefits are. Sometimes when you're hiring people, it's good to know that 20% of what they make is a benefit to them, or 30%. It's one of those things where you might want to entice people to come work for you by how much percent of what they make is going towards their benefits, okay? Because benefits are a big thing. Health insurance, for instance. If you just had health insurance, if you paid for everybody's health insurance on your company, that could be a pretty big savings for people. Okay? I know a health plan for a family is usually on upwards of $13,000, $14,000 a year. So if you take care of that for them, they might appreciate that and work for you harder. So the formula that we have for this one talks about rate of benefits. When you do a rate of benefits, what that is anytime you have a rate, you're going to deal with it as a percentage. So the total benefits. Now, total benefits means you're going to have to add. And then you're going to divide it by the annual gross pay. Okay? So this part right here, the total benefits, that's where you're going to add all together. So if I know a dollar amount for everything, you're going to add everything up together. That's the total benefit. And then you're going to divide it by how much you make for the year. Okay? And that will give you a number. And when you get that number, as per a couple of the last sections, we have to move the decimal over 2 spots to the right this time, not to the left. So on number 1, it says the annual salary is $32,000. So your annual salary is $32,000. The total benefits it gives you, so they've already added everything up together, is $9,600. They want you to find the rate of benefits. So for this problem, we're going to take $9,600 and we're going to divide it by $32,000. When you get that answer, you're going to get, and when I type it into the calculator, which again, I'm using the calculators up here at the front of the desk, 9,600 divided by 32,000 is 0.3. Now for this, when you're talking about percent, it's got to go 2 places to the right, so that is 30%. So if I make $32,000 a year and my total benefit package is $9,600, that means that 30% of what I make is going towards my benefits, okay, which that's a pretty good number. All right. Now, on number 2, it's a little bit different because you're going to actually have to figure some stuff out. It says a stock clerk's annual salary is $21,860. So it gives you the annual salary. The benefits are vacations and holidays. When you're gone, when you take a sick day, when you take any kind of holiday, personal day, whatever, that costs money to your business in order to have somebody there to replace the person who's leaving. So that's why it costs money for that. Health insurance, they're saying, is $1,275. Unemployment insurance. As a business owner, you pay into unemployment. We're going to talk about that later, but you have to pay into unemployment so that when somebody does file for unemployment, that they have money that pays for it. So every business owner has to pitch into that. And then Social Security was that. Social Security, or FICA, just so that you guys know, is one of those things that you have to pay in if you are an employee. That's not negotiable. Same with Medicare. And then compensation insurance, that could vary. Sometimes they have that, sometimes they don't. So for part A, it says what are the total benefits, which means for this particular problem, you add all those together. So when I add all those together, so somebody's typing it in, hopefully, you should get $5,279.88. That's the total benefit. So if you don't get that, chances are you type something in wrong. So be very careful how you type it in. Now for part B, to get to the rate of benefits, I take that $5,279.88 and I divide it by the annual salary of $21,860. When you come up with that, when I do that problem, which I already forgot where I put that calculator, I take 5279.88 divided by 21,860, and I get 0.241535. Now that's a lot of decimal places. And in the problem it even says in blue, round to the nearest tenth of a percent. So what that means is after I move it over, let's round right to this place. So first of all, I'd have 24 point. Now the number behind the 1 is a 5. When it's 5 or greater, you bump it up. When it's lower than 5, you just drop it off. So for this position, it would be 2. That would get bumped up. So I'd have 24.2%. So part A was how much was your benefit total. Part B was what was the rate of it. Okay? So another example of something like this would be, it says Sarah Gold's annual gross pay is $28,450. Her benefits are health insurance at $3,116.04. Vacation was at $1,094.23. Social Security was $1,763.90. And Medicare was $412.53. Those are the benefits that we're willing to pay. So what we do again, to get the total benefits, you add those numbers together. So I will take with my calculator 3,116.04 plus 1,094.23 plus 1,763.9 plus 412.53, and I get a number. Hopefully one of you do it, but the number is $6,386.70. So then what I do to find the actual rate of benefits is I take that $63.86.70 and divide it by 28,450. Now, just so that you guys are aware of it, if you screw up the adding originally, you're going to screw up the rate of benefits. So you need to be extremely careful when you're adding. Okay? So then divide that by 28,450, and I get 0.2244885. And if I do the same thing where I round it to 2 decimal places, it should be 22.4%. Okay? So as far as figuring out the rate of benefits, that's what we're going to have to do. On 3 through 7, it already gives you in chart format. You just take the total benefits divided by the annual gross pay, move the decimal over. If you turn the page to 432, number 8 talks about Mary Chambers and her annual salary, and it's doing the same thing we did for number 2. Number 9 and number 10, I want you to look at those for the actual things on those. There's some heavy problems. It has a lot of points involved in those. You do not want to skip 9 and 10. If you try to do that, you're going to get, 9 for instance has, 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 24 points alone. Okay, I don't want you to, don't get a minus 24 just because you didn't want to do it. So in order to figure that out, when you have the annual wage of $47,580, and if I take $47,580 and divide it by 52, that's $915 a week, and then I times it by 2, that's $1,830 for a 2-week vacation. How I got that was I took and divided it by 52 because there's 52 weeks in a year, and then I times it by 2 because we're talking about over 2 weeks. Part B, when it says 3.6% for workers' comp, you take the annual wage times by 0.036. 8 days of sick leave, same kind of thing that we did for the vacation days. Keep in mind you do not work on Saturday and Sunday. 6.2% for FICA, that's the same as the workers' comp, same thing with Medicare. Total benefits, you would add columns A, B, C, D, and E up to get F. That's how you have to do it. Okay, so that one's going to take you some time to do. Same thing with 10. 10 is the same kind of chart format. And don't forget, after you fill out the chart, that there's more problems down there. It says, what's the rate of benefits for each employee? So you take the total benefits divided by their annual wage. All right? Be very, very careful how to set that up, because some of you will mess it up, especially the sick days and holidays. Okay? Make sure you're really careful with that, because you don't work on the weekends. All right? So for this particular assignment, we're on page 431 and going to 432. And we're 1 through 10. Okay. Again, don't forget there is calculators up at the front. Plus, along with, you are allowed to work together if you want to. And also, the person in here is also more than capable of helping you too. So, all right. I will see you later. Bye.